Welcome to the BYD Sealion 6. This is basically BYD's answer to vehicles like the Toyota RAV4, except unlike a lot of the rivals, this features a plug-in hybrid powertrain. Here we're testing the entry-level dynamic version, which is front-wheel drive. I would have liked to test the all-wheel drive, but they didn't have one available. The design is very clean and elegant, although it doesn't have all that much character to it, but neither do many rivals in this class anyway. It takes on a bit of a four-door coupe, swooping roofline type theme, with a pretty wide rear end with nice big haunches. Underneath you'll find an independent rear suspension setup, as well as evidence of the 18.3 kWh battery. This provides an NEDC range of 92 kilometers. As standard, the Dynamic comes with these rather nice 19-inch alloy wheels, wearing 235/50 Gitty tyres. I'm not really a fan of these tyres, as you'll see in the braking test, and even acceleration, they seem to chirp quite a bit. Inside it's actually really luxurious, especially with this two-tone brown and black leather theme, with some red-orange pinstripes to add some spice. And then of course on the dash is the huge rotating touchscreen. Pretty much all vehicle functions are found in this screen, which is a little bit annoying in my opinion. I'd rather have some buttons around. But it does present awesome clear graphics and plenty of functionality. The front seats are surprisingly sporty and supportive, but also very soft, so they're comfortable even on long journeys. Passenger space is really good, including in the back. You've got heaps of legroom, and even headroom is really good because the seat can recline back. It is a little bit dark in the back here because the D and C pillar are quite thick, but if you open up the huge sunroof, that obviously lets in lots of light. You've got climate control vents, cup holders and bottle holders in the doors. And then up at the back we've got a very impressive boot, 574 litres, which is pretty much at the top of this class. Folding down the rear seats, which go flat but there is a little bit of a step there, opens up 1440 litres. And then underneath you've got some extra storage and a tyre repair kit. As for the powertrain, there's a 1.5 litre petrol 4-cylinder paired with an electric motor. Combined you've got 160 kilowatts, which is pretty good for this class, with 0 to 100 claimed in 8.5 seconds. The official fuel consumption average is just 1.1 litres per 100 kilometres, but that's because you can plug it in and you've got that 92 kilometre range. This is what it goes like. Out on the road now, yeah, it's very quiet, smooth, and reasonably refined actually, especially considering this is not a premium vehicle, it's not a luxury car. There's not much wind noise, even road roar is minimal, despite featuring what I think are pretty ordinary tyres. It cruises along, yeah, pretty much like a luxury car. The suspension does well to absorb bumps most of the time, and there's not much crashing and banging going on, which is great to see. However, I think the tune isn't quite right, because on smaller bumps, it feels like you're carrying, 5 big blokes in the car, and the suspension is, almost bottomed out. Not bottomed out, but just almost bottomed out. You're at the bottom of the suspension range. You're not. You've still got a fair bit of wheel movement happening, but that's just what it feels like. Because over small bumps, there's a bit of pitching and rocking going on, and it just interferes with the overall engagement of the drive. I know this is not a sports car. I'm comparing it against other SUVs like this, and they don't have that sensation where it's rocking and pitching just a little bit over smaller bumps. It seems to catch bigger bumps quite well. It seems like there's a lot of suspension movement there. Around corners, yeah, because of that little hesitation or that little pitching going on, there's just a bit of an interference with the steering, I feel. At times there's a kind of bit of tugging and a bit of, I've got all the lane keep assist turned off, so it's not that. It just kind of feels like the lane keep assist is actually on. And it's just this little kind of weird tugging happening sometimes, particularly around tighter corners. But overall, I think the driving character is pretty good. This is not a high-end premium vehicle. It's not a Porsche or something like that, so you can't expect that sort of handling. I just think it needs just a tiny bit of tweaking and tuning to get it up to the level of the best of this class. The drive system is really good. I like having the different modes and different options. At first it's a little bit overwhelming, like you've got sport mode for the steering and brake assist, and even this instrument cluster is pretty complicated in terms of just the display of information. But after a short drive you get used to where everything is, and it kind of all makes sense. Like, I like having the drive mode showing constantly, normal it says, And I like having the drive settings showing as well. So I'm in HEV, which is hybrid electric vehicle mode, so it's just hybrid mode. You've got a button down here to switch it to EV mode. Then you know what you're in. You don't have to worry about glancing too far away from the road. And I like having the display for the drive output, so it's showing you what's going on with the engine and the battery and sort of what you're using. You put your foot down, the petrol engine goes orange, better stay on the road. Petrol engine goes orange and it shows you that it is engaged. I think that's good, having that clearly visible. I also like the range displayed down there as well. So you've got your petrol level at the side there on the right, you've got your battery level on the left, and you can change that to percentage to range, so you can have it as kilometers or whatever, which is good. Some EVs don't do that, they just have a percentage or they just have range. Just a personal preference, what you like, and it's good to have the option to change that. The other big thing obviously is, and I mean big, is this screen. I think it is too large for any sort of driving car. When cars are autonomous, fair enough, have a massive screen, put a 50-inch TV in there, it doesn't matter. But when you're driving, I think that is just a little bit too big, like it's distracting. You can flip it around. BYD is known for that sort of thing, so you can have it like that, but then that's actually totally blocking my view over there. If there's a kid on the road or something like that and I'm parking the vehicle, I wouldn't be able to see them because the screen is literally in the way. I think that's just over the top. It is great technology, the touch response and everything is great. It's definitely a good show-off feature, has showroom appeal, but in the practical world, I just think that's too big. Down here we've got a lot of bumps and patchwork, so we'll see how it goes over that. A little bit of a squeak and rattle from the trim there. But this is a very rough road. I think that's doing okay. Considering the price and what you're getting, you have to factor in all of this. Yeah, there's a little bit of rattling going on. It does have a full panoramic sunroof as well. They always rattle. In every vehicle I've driven with a big sunroof, they always rattle because it's just too many parts joining together. Overall refinement, I think, is pretty good. All right, let's head out now to the private road and do some performance testing to see what it goes like. I'm not able to get the battery up to 100%, but there is a mode in here where you can save the battery. The maximum is 70%. And it will use the petrol engine to charge the battery up to around 70%. And it's pretty good too. I've just been casually driving along and I saw it come back up to around 71% by itself. Obviously, if you want to use the EV, use this as an EV, sorry, then you just plug it in. Okay, I'll do a run in EV mode. I'm not sure if the petrol engine is going to cut in. Little symbol up the top there. Yeah, the petrol engine automatically cuts in. I'll try and be a bit more gentle just to get a time in EV mode. I might have to put it into normal mode. that was 11.8 seconds, 11.79 seconds, and I didn't put my foot all the way to the floor, like it was just missing, so the pedal didn't actually click to the ground or to the floor of the vehicle, which may cause the petrol engine to come in. So if you do want to drive around in EV mode and you want to see what sort of performance it offers, yeah, about 11.8, 0 to 100, just giving it almost full throttle.